Dobar dan i dobro nam došli u 7. emisiju Sat istine u produkciji OPPT Hrvatska i Radio Liberum. Sa vama su Zvonko za mikrofonom i Barni u režiji. Ja danas zamjenjujem Valtera koji se nalazi na zasluženom godišnjem odmoru. Valtere, ako nas čuješ, lijepi pozdrav i guštaj, zaslužio si. Zahvalio bih ovim putem i svima koji su uplatili pokoju kunu na račun Radio Liberuma kako bi se njihov rad mogao nastaviti, a također i onima koji će to tek učiniti kako bismo i u buduće mogli imati ovakve emisije. Ono što je do sada uplaćeno nije dosta za radio da bi opstao, te vas molim, ako ste u mogućnosti da pomognete financijski sa koliko možete, pomognite tako da možemo Radio Liberumu omogućiti da ostane u eteru. U današnjoj emisiji bavit ćemo se nastavkom teme iz prošle emisije o sudskim metodama borbe, kako je to Valter nazvao. Naravno, u prvom dijelu emisije imamo i gosta sa sjevera Europe, Are u Švedskoj, dom je Olivera Trolla, sa portala OPPT Sweden, koji također širi informacije o novom globalnom pravnom okviru koji se nalazi na snazi od 25.12. prošle godine. Švedski OPPT tim vrlo je aktivan i danas ćemo imati priliku iz prve ruke čuti što se događa kod njih. Sada prelazimo na engleski. Okay, we are switching to English. We have with us live on Skype a guest from the north of Europe. Are, Sweden is his new home, and he is one of the people working with the web portal OPPT Sweden, a very active group of people committed to inform and educate their countrymen about the new lawful frame that is globally in place since 25th December of the last year. So today we have with us a truth seeker, and his name is Oliver Troll. Oliver, I welcome you to the Croatian OPPT radio show, Hour of Truth.
Thank you, and hvala for having me.
Thank you, Oliver. That's cool. You know some Croatian stuff.
Yeah, you know, I have some friends from Balkan. One of my best friends is actually from the Balkans, so I know some words.
Great. In this next question, I will test my Swedish and then ask in English. Oliver, ja presentera de med några ut på engelska och kroatiska. Hur skulle du presentera dig själv? Vem är Oliver Troll? Oliver, I did introduce you with a few words, both in English and Croatian. How would you introduce yourself? Who is Oliver Troll?
Oh, very good Swedish, Zvanko. You did it perfectly. Well, I'm in midlife. I just moved house a couple of weeks ago from a larger city, Uppsala, to north of Sweden, or in the middle of Sweden. It's more in the mountains. And then I've been, let's say, searching for all my life about something, and now I actually know what it is. Because if you look around in the world and the suffering you have all over you, you know there's something wrong with both systems and how people are acting. So that's the very, very short version. I've been living in Germany. I was actually born in Germany, but I moved to Sweden when I was young. So I speak several languages.
That is wonderful. Languages are such a gift, you know.
Yep.
Exactly. Can you tell us when did you learn about OPPT and what were your first impressions as you discovered that?
Yeah, actually, I followed. You probably know American Kabuki and D from Breaking the Silence and
Sure.
RTS. That I followed them for a while, I think it's over a year now, and then eventually I stumbled upon the filings. I think it was Lisa Harrison on that show the 25th or 26th, I don't remember which date, and I felt that and knew somehow that this is something extra. I didn't understand everything, but I read it all through, and I just was like amazed.
Yeah, it was amazing for me too. I had to read it at least 10 times to grasp, understand, because it was written in such a language.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to translate to other languages.
Yeah.
That was an amazing experience when I discovered that myself. Okay, please tell me what happened next. How did you start the OPPT Sweden? I mean, how you guys did come together and as kind of people looking for freedom, for the facts, for the truth,
Mm. Well, it started with with a letter to the Swedish Prime Minister, and that letter actually was written by a former guest you had on, I think, one show, the show before Dean Clifford, Irina Korusic.
Okay.
Her letter to the Canadian PM, I read that on the internet, and I was like, wow, this is so very well written. So I can take this and just transfer or change the details for Sweden that were equivalent to Sweden, and then I sent it away. And actually, that was the precursor of OPPT Sweden, where people started to contact me and wanted to know more and connect. And especially one guy, Hans Karlsson, who is retired, we connected very well, and we started to translate a lot of stuff. So we have translated, the courtesy notices, the paradigm report, who is, what's like to translate to another language. It's
sure.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's lots of work and lots of hours, and but we just felt that people need to be informed, and it's all done voluntarily. As for yourself, it's you just put in the time and the hours, and it has been really fun and educating, and the growth from a personal level has been amazing. I can't even start to describe things that has happened, because it has been a journey all these 6 months, 7 months from the start. Every week you learn something new, even though you think now I know something, but then other people start putting in more data, and then you know even more, and that's the journey we have been at since.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been an amazing experience for myself also, and my colleagues. We did also translate all this paperwork from English into Croatian, and it's amazing the worldwide movement that happened because of the filings, and it's amazing what the man can do, and what kind of inspirations are coming from them. I was amazed by people what they come up with and solutions and everything else. That's what happened when you work together.
Yeah, I know. It's terrific. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean it's just amazing. Okay, tell me what happened next. How did OPPT Sweden actually start? Were you by yourself, or you had some kind of?
It's actually, it was it was myself starting to. I had the Facebook page already before, following. You probably know Drake, David Wilcock, Benjamin Fulford, the Keenans, Neil Keenan and stuff, and there are lots of blog pages, and eventually on the way you could see where people were going, and you learned also that nobody actually has the whole picture, which is, I would say, impossible at this stage. but it's really it was easily seen, especially when I followed Drake for a while, that he was. Well, it's my opinion. I would say handled somehow, because he was like, okay, next week, and nothing happened. And he didn't have the paperwork. He has educated lots of people, and I commend him and Benjamin Fulford and David Wilcock and lots of people. They have done a tremendous work. So it was me, and then it was Hans who started to translate and to build the sites. We built the sites rather fast, actually, and then just put the translations up there and articles. We thought, okay, this is a good article, and we discussed that a bit, and then we translated it. And he has this database, so we have a, let's say, concise language in all our translations. So it's the same language, more or less, because as you know, it's not easy to translate, especially those judicial documents.
Exactly, to have the same meaning as in English. It's really hard to find the exact word in each language to have the same meaning,
Yeah, and sometimes you even have to switch and turn sentences around to have the same or almost the same wording and understanding. So that's how it started, and it was about I think it was February somewhere. That work started really kick up a notch.
That's great. Same thing. I think we kicked in kind of April, actually. We just met. I guess it was meant for us to meet, and it just happened. It was meant, I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
No, everything. I think there's a purpose with everything, almost everything, I would say. That's my view, because exactly. I don't believe in things happen by accident.
Exactly.
I have had too many coincidences in my life with different things that was like, wow. Especially this last half year. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and still is.
Yeah, and we haven't even started yet. If you check, we have done a lots of work, but the real work is when everything is changing, or when we change it, and people start to change physically. That's when the real fun starts.
Exactly. I agree. Let me know, what is the feedback from people in Sweden regarding foreclosure of banks, governments, and everything else based on the UCC filing that foreclosed everything?
Well, people question a lot. I guess it's the same in Croatia, but people are generally in Sweden are very calm, and there haven't been any big happenings or wars for 200 years in this country. So people are like, okay, we have a pretty good society, and I think people will be shocked when they hear the actual facts and disclosure. So there have been lots of discussions, and especially towards the UCC filings, because people think, UCC filings, they're not valid for Sweden. They don't quite understand the scope. And there are actually very, very few lawyers that know about it. And that's very, very interesting.
It is interesting. It's the same thing here in Croatia. But each bank operates under UCC.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to, otherwise they won't be able to operate. I mean, they wouldn't exist.
And people don't understand that. Even though you point at the evidence, you have it right in front of them. They're like, "No, it's not valid for Sweden," and it will be tough for lots of people. And that, I think, also one of the reasons why we are here, to inform ourselves and to help our fellow countrymen. Actually, there are no countries, but you know what I mean.
Our fellow men,
Yeah, our fellow, exactly, man, woman, and child. So they can okay, where do they have to come? Because I think most importantly, the questions are the most important thing here, that people come with questions and do it in their own way and own pace, because you can't like shove let's say the paradigm report down their throats, because they will not understand it. They have to come to you and ask questions little by little, and I think that's what will happen eventually when we have this so-called event.
Yes. And the main thing is, I always tell people that I personally talk to, I said, don't believe me anything I say.
Exactly.
I do not believe anybody says, anything says. I tell you information, but don't believe me. Do your own research.
Yeah, that's
exactly. And come to the conclusion, because it has to come from inside you.
Exactly.
Nobody can tell you anything. I'm my own man. I cannot tell another man what to do or what to believe. I mean, it's up to you to do your research and come up with the conclusions yourself.
But this is also new for people, because they're not used to this. Because
exactly.
if you say, okay, don't mind the government, take your own responsibility, liability, then people like, all right, how should I do that? I need somebody to tell me what to do, because that's how we're used to work.
Exactly. I know, everybody is just waiting for somebody to tell them what to do.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like that actually in Sweden, regarding the foreclosure of the banks and governments, and people like, this saying, if it's too good to be true, then it's I don't think it's true. And,
exactly.
They're reacting a little bit like that. So I'm pretty cautious in discussions and trying to change people's opinion, because I don't think that's the right way.
No, not to change anybody's opinion.
No.
People need to come to their own conclusions.
Exactly.
Their research. Good. So you mentioned you sent a letter by your group to alleged Swedish Prime Minister Fredrik Reinfeldt.
Yes.
For this new lawful frame. Tell us more about that, and was there any feedback you received from the alleged government regarding that letter?
Well, they responded in the way they usually respond, and that's with dead silence.
Same here.
Yeah, exactly. They know, and they're so silent. I haven't heard anything about it. And nor the government, or I sent some letters to. We have this, treasury about what's happening, and it's the same there. They all respond with silence. And if you have, I have this issue with a student loan, for instance. It's government driven in Sweden. So it's the government that puts those out, and they're like responding with, the usual legal mumbo jumbo, and you have to go to court if you want to dispute this, and blah blah blah. So, but I think there are lots of people below also that they don't know actually.
They don't know. People below,
they're not informed.
Yes.
So
they're not even aware that they work for X corporation. So that's the problem. Yes.
Yeah. True. They don't have a clue actually.
I know. It's the same thing here, but
so it's a challenge not to be upset with them. Just okay, they don't know, so let's educate them. That's
exactly. Okay, so that you guys actually send them a duly note. They are duly noticed from your group. What do you think? What kind of consequences will be for Fredrik Reinfeldt one day?
Well, I think he will be, if nothing, he will be replaced eventually by the other side, who is the opposing parties. But it's the same, it's the same everywhere. You have different colors, but actually they only have two sides. And I hope he will get to the understanding what's probably he knows, but I'm not sure if he knows everything. either. It's really difficult to tell, because he's like, have this political stone face, and you don't know what's in his on his mind. So I hope the people will take care of this together, because we have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And let's say he has to get another job.
That's it. Exactly.
Let's put it that way.
Or go on vacation, a long vacation.
Yeah, maybe that's better, even.
Long vacation. Let him enjoy his life,
Yeah.
He didn't know any better.
I have no problem with it, as long as he lets us other people do the real work and step aside, then it's okay with me.
Exactly. Okay, Oliver, tell me what is happening in Sweden right now. How do people live? I know that Sweden is known as a country with really, really good healthcare and social programs, but is there more to it? Is there a dark side of that shiny picture, or please let me know.
Yeah, there sure is, and I mean there are lots of things that's good with the country. You just spelled some of them out with healthcare and social programs, but let's say all local governments more or less are screaming for money. There's never enough money, and it's the same with the big government, or they're like, okay, we have not enough money for education, and they're doing school reforms and trying to put people in in different positions where they don't belong, and it's there are lots of things to do, I would say, lots of things, because one of the things with the people here, or as on many places, again, they're not used to take responsibility or liability for themselves. Someone else is always telling them what to do, and so I think we are not better off than most countries. Of course, it's calm here. We have, we have the normal. We have police force doing their job, or thinking they're doing their job, and we have a good Medicare. But then there are also lots of lack of money, and it's the illusion is so obvious when you're sitting on this side on the fence.
Yeah.
And even in Sweden, it's no difference here, and I see it also in Norway and Denmark and all the countries here around. It's the shiny picture is we have some cleaning to do.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everybody has some cleaning to do.
Yeah.
The main thing is that once the people realize that they are truly free, and that they have to take the responsibility to be personally responsible for everything they do in their earthly life, then everything's going to be okay. But that's going to be hard work to do.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard work to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think, what will it take for people to learn what has happened in the last 7 months? And what will it take for them to comprehend with their consciousness what has happened actually? That's going to be a tough job.
That's a tough one. I think it has started, because you can discuss and talk about things like, let's say, 9/11 more openly without being ridiculed, and people start to open up. But I think there need to be some kind of larger disclosure and events, and I hope not, but that's my feeling anyway, that there has to be some kind of announcement done, and I hope people don't fall for this so-called Nasara RV prosperity package deal that's supposed to be the new system coming, because I think it's just another set of clothes on an old system.
Yeah, it's a hoax, I think.
Yeah, I also think so. It's same controllers. They just shift some puppets.
Exactly. Powers that were, they don't want to give up that easy.
Nope.
It was
No.
easy life, milking us to death, and they're enjoying traveling, laughing at us.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you just look at it, because when people discuss poverty, for example, they say like, there's not enough stuff for everyone. I mean, look at Haiti. They did, they did raise lots of money for that here, at least here in Sweden, and also in other countries, but they still live in tents. Nothing has changed, I would say. Not
I
that
would
much.
ask, where did money go?
Exactly.
Where did money go? All these excuses, humanitarian this, humanitarian that,
and it's gone. And it's like, this, I think it's the boss of, what's their name now again? One of these big organizations. She has like $1.9 million salary with all expenses in the Rolls Royce. And then, okay, that's where the money's going. It's amazing.
Yeah. I know in the States, it was Bill Clinton and George Bush Jr. They raised so much money, and people didn't see that back in Haiti,
Yeah, I know.
Sure.
I mean, I think John Travolta flew over there with his jet.
Yeah.
So, that was really something.
I know. It's amazing. All these lies for nothing, If you take a look at in Croatia, for example, they just joined the European Union.
Yeah.
But
for you.
No, I didn't, because I don't work for corporation.
Yeah.
So the people that work for corporation, Republic of Croatia, joined the EU.
Yeah.
Them. And it's sad that becoming a 28th member, and people are going through garbage containers looking for food. It's to see that.
It's really wrong. It's so wrong.
And
I guess that all countries, if they start to check their history and just follow the thread, I'm really sure that Croatia, if you check things in the past, that you will start to link things together. Because I've been working with problem solving in 10 years, so I like to get sometimes this helicopter view and then go down and see, there's the problem. And I've seen this in Sweden as well. I mean, if you check, there was actually a Croatian guy, I don't know if you know him, Nikola Majstorovic.
Mm-hmm. Majstorovic.
He, I think he's a journalist, as far as I know, and he investigated the murder of Ivar Kryger, who was a really, really famous and rich Swedish guy who had lots of companies, and he was making matches worldwide, and he had lots of money. He helped actually Germany between the wars and he had better interest than the Americans, but he was removed. And if you start to look at things like this in the country, because then you start to connect the dots and see, because he wanted a different economy, but he has been ridiculed, and books have been written that as, who writes the history? It's the winner.
Sure. The history is all wrong, actually.
Exactly, and if you know it, okay, it's one.
It's all lie.
One side is writing the history, then you can be sure that things are missing.
Exactly. Okay, Oliver, I have a last question for you. I think half an hour we've been at it. What is
fast.
Yeah, I know. What is your message to your brothers and sisters in Croatia? We ask every guest, our guests in our show, that question.
Well, don't stop educating yourself and help each other all the way through, because we have to do this together. And use as less judgment on other people as possible, because we can all learn from each other. That's my view anyway. And don't forget a lot of volymte.
Okay, sounds good. Volymte, yeah. As a human being, I love
Yes.
human beings. Yeah.
That's don't forget that. It's family is very important. Take care of each other, and work with each other, and don't think of borders and stuff like that, because in the end we're all together in this.
Absolutely, we're all brothers and sisters, no matter where we are on our home planet Earth. Great. Thank you for joining us in Croatian OPPT radio show Hour of Truth, Oliver.
Thank you, Zvanko, for having me, and I hopefully we talk again. And give Vlad my best regards.
Will do. Hopefully he's listening to us.
All right. Then Vlad, don't drink too much pivo.
There we go. Or barbecue too.
Yeah, I know. It's really good. Okay, thank you, Zvanko.
Okay, thanks. We are wrapping up, and I sincerely hope that we will talk again, maybe when Frederick Reinfeldt gets arrested or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Would be fun. Let's keep in touch, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Lijepa i nastavljamo temu iz prošle emisije sa Draženom. Dobro nam došao, Dražene, da li se čujemo?
Čujemo se dobro, Zvone, dobro došao i ti na sat istine i moram priznat da ovo što te slušam da skroz to dobro ide, da imaš nekoga šlifa za bit radio voditelj, što se mene osobno tiče.
Hvala ti lijepo na lijepim riječima.
Dobar si.
Ja ću morat ovo školovanje početi naplaćivati.
Može.
A ništa ispostavi na račun Borni, nema druge.
Nema druge.
Ne, dobit ćete nekakvu ponudu za ugovorni odnos. Ajde, ovo se ja više ne smetam i nadalje mlatit po kikirikiju.
Može, Barry, hvala ti. Dražene, prošli put nismo dovršili temu, a di smo stali?
Pa stali smo prošli put, uglavnom kad smo govorili o sudovima, govorili smo o tome kako zapravo ovi sudovi, trgovački sudovi koji su uglavnom zastupljeni, kako se oni baziraju na pretpostavkama, te da na predrasudama i zapravo da kad ulazimo u sudnicu da je bitno sve te predrasude opovrgnuti.
Odlično, super, ajde reci nam nešto više o tome.
Ovako, znači sud operira pod recimo pretpostavkom da je svaka stvar donesena pred sud javna, dok privatnici, ja ih zovem tako privatnici, zapravo odvjetnici iz odvjetničke komore i suci pretpostavljaju da je ta stvar privatnog advokatskog biznisa i mi moramo otvoreno kazati da je stvar potpuno javna i onda ona neće ostati u privatnoj domeni komore. Druga pretpostavka je pretpostavka da su odvjetnici i suci javni službenici, a zapravo su oni članovi privatne komore koji su prisegnuli, pogotovo odvjetnici, jer oni jedino ako se radi o državnom odvjetništvu, oni imaju i neku državnu prisegu, ali je komora ta koja je superiornija i onda moramo opovrgnuti taj njihov javno-službenički status, to jest moramo tražiti da se oni razdvoje njihove jurisdikcije na privatnu i javnu. Znači moramo opovrgnuti tu pretpostavku javne službe njihove, znači oni se moraju osobno deklarirati kao javni službenici. Pretpostavka javne prisege da su svi članovi komore djeluju u funkciji javnog službenika. Znači ta prisega moramo, znači to je Victoria Chapman je napisala u svojoj knjizi, da pitamo suca ili odvjetnika da li oni djeluju pod prisegom u ovom momentu i ako djeluju pod kojom prisegom djeluju. Dakle, da li pod onom koje su dali odvjetničkoj komori ili onoj koje su dali državi, i što znači da su oni tu zapravo u sukobu interesa i da nikako ne mogu stajati kao javni službenici dok ih mi to ne ispitamo. Jel?
Tako je, da te pitam nešto u vezi komore.
Da.
Znači, ta naša komora, takozvana, to je isto kao i američka bar asocijacija, jel tako?
Da, ovako, ja sam zapravo, napravio sam jedan dobar, mislim, šta ja znam. Ovako, tekst koji sam nisam ga još stavio na web, ali nadam se da bi mogao biti sutra, u kojem sam malo istraživao tu komoru. I komora je zapravo, nisam pronašao, ona je neka vrsta udruge i ona je bog i batina u odvjetništvu u Hrvatskoj. Sve što se tiče odvjetništva i sudova, sve prelazi preko komore. Nije jasno, ja bar nisam uspio pronaći ko je osnovao komoru i ko je vlasnik te komore, ali je ona članica ove International Bar Association iz Londona.
Ali Internacionalna bar asocijacija glavno sjedište je u Engleskoj, Engleskoj je osnovana.
Da, ona je zapravo nije niti u Engleskoj, nego u City of London. City of London je
privatna
korporacija koja se nalazi unutar Londona na jednoj površini od 1 kvadratne milje i sve bitne stvari u svijetu što se tiče novca i pravosuđa se nalaze na toj poziciji. Ja sam to, kako sam pročitao malo od Davida Icka, one neke stvari, onda sam malo išao istraživati po tome i na kraju ispada da u tome ima itekako istine.
Tako je, da. Dobro, idemo dalje.
Ovako, sljedeća pretpostavka je pretpostavka imuniteta, to jest da ključni članovi privatne komore koji rade kao javni službenici u navodne znakove suci, tužitelji, suci za prekršaj, koji su položili javne zakletve u dobroj vjeri su imuni od osobnih izjava, tvrdnji, posljeda i odgovornosti. I to treba opovrgnuti na sudu, jer svaka osoba koja nastupa kao agent korporacije je odgovorna za svoje akcije u ime korporacije. Znači, to treba naglasiti na sudu da niko nije imun od onoga što radi i što govori, pa tako bi vjerovatno i suci odvjetnici morali paziti šta pričaju na tom sudu. Dalje, pretpostavka poziva na sud je da onaj koji pristupa sudu prihvaća poziciju branitelja, porotnika, svjedoka i neke jurisdikcije suda. Znači da čim se pojavite na sudu pretpostavlja ste da ste prihvatili njihovu jurisdikciju, što zapravo trebate opovrgnuti pa reći da to što ste vi došli na sud, da to ne znači da vi automatski prihvaćate njihovu jurisdikciju ili bi bilo najbolje da se odbije poziv i vrati se sudu i tako se smatra da ne pripadate jurisdikciji tog suda. Najgore je izbjegavati sud ili ne pojavljivati se nikako na sudu, to neće na kakav način opovrgnuti ove pretpostavke jurisdikciji suda.
Pitanje je jedno, da te pitam u vezi toga. Znači, pismeno se moramo odgovoriti na pismo koje dobijemo. Ali...
Reci.
Tako je. Da li to pismo je ponuda za ugovorni odnos?
Naravno, uvijek je to u pitanju odgovorni odnos. Međutim, kao i svakom trust zakoniku, tako i ovaj ima određene pretpostavke koje sud, taj trgovački sud, koji se bavi samo izjednačavanjem bilance u novcu s jedne i s druge strane, on operira pod pretpostavkama. I mi smo dužni tu te pretpostavke opovrgnuti. Ovo sad što ja čitam, znači treba reći sudu da ne prihvaća se jurisdikcija tog suda ili da sud dokaže svoju jurisdikciju na to. A ako mi šutimo na račun toga, sud to pretpostavlja i sud će dozvoliti bilo kakvu pretpostavku od strane odvjetnika, tužitelja, državnog odvjetništva. Ako mi šutimo, to znači da nismo opovrgnuli, to stoji koja je činjenica. Znači, sve ono što smo pričali od samoga starta u vezi trgovačkog zakona, UCC zakona, to se isto primjenjuje u sudu. Dok ti šutiš, ne opovrgavaš predrasude i pretpostavke iznesene na sudu, znači da se s njima slažeš.
Tako je, najbitnije je da se iznesu činjenice, jer činjenice su nešto što se ne može pobiti na sudu, je li tako?
A zapravo bitno je, možeš i ti se baviti pretpostavkama, možeš i ti pretpostavljati na neki način, ali opet to je igra igra rata pretpostavki. Znači ona pretpostavka koja ostane, ima najčvršće uporište, ona na kraju pobjeđuje.
Da, ako se ja dobro sjećam, definicija zakona kaže zakon je nepobitna činjenica. Jel? Dakle, svaka činjenica koja se može pobiti nije zakon.
Tako je.
U biti kad pričamo o činjenicama, tih činjenica ima vrlo malo. Sve nekako, bar ja osobno kad pričam o nekim stvarima u svijetu, sve se svodi na neko osobno shvaćanje svijeta koji oko nas. Jeli? I onda ako imamo dobre argumente za to, onda to zovemo činjenicama jer ih niko još uvijek nije pobio. A ta činjenica već sutra proširivanjem svijesti ili znanjem o nekim stvarima više nije činjenica. Znači činjenica ne mora nužno biti istina, jel? Šta je istina, to sam Bog zna, jel? Šta je pravo stanje stvari. Ali ajmo reći da je činjenica najtvrđa pretpostavka koja nije pobivena ni na kakav način, pa tako možemo i zakon zvati nekom pretpostavkom koja nije pobivena.
Da, to je interesantno. Ništa, idemo na jednu kratku pauzu, a poslije pauze vraćamo se temi. Evo nas nazad poslije kratkog prekida. Dražene, jesmo tu?
Tu smo.
Ajmo, molim te, ajmo nastaviti tamo gdje si stao, molim te.
Dakle, postoji pretpostavka pritvora, to jest da onaj koji ide na sud zbog poziva ili zbog naloga za uhićenje je odgovoran za svoj pritvor. Čuvari mogu legalno pretvoriti samo stvar, ali ne mogu pretvoriti biće od krvi i mesa. Izjavom o tome kako ste živi i kako ste zdravi, te da niste stvar, da vam ne treba staratelj, prema tome ne treba vam ni pritvor. Povrgnit ćete ovu pretpostavku izjavom da niste stvar, niti ste ičija imovina. Ako vas i nakon ove izjave u sudu pritvore, oni koji su vas pritvorili su osobno odgovorni za vaš pritvor.
Tako je, da. Ja čak mislim da je bitno, vidiš da se u zadnje vrijeme dešava kod nas da ljude šalju odmah na psihijatrijsko liječenje.
Da.
Znači, jako bitno je da svako ko ide na sud, da izvadi liječničku potvrdu od svog doktora da je psihički stabilna osoba, znači da mu nije potrebno liječenje u Vrapču. Tako da odmah može pobiti sud na licu mjesta. I onda zatražiti suca njegovu potvrdu da li je on psihički stabilna osoba. Apsolutno, jel?
Teoretski je tako. Ako on pretpostavlja da si ti neuravnotežen i da nisi pri sebi, to isto možeš pretpostaviti i ti.
Kako vi meni ideje dajete, ljudi moji.
Tako je, bar mi uči.
Ja si pripremam na ofenzivu. Ne, odlučio sam dignuti kredit i ne vratit ga.
Pa ne, to su tvoji novci, onako.
Pa znam, povodim se slučajem iz, kako se zove, sa Novog Zelanda. Kako je ime one ženi što je uplatila si $15 milijuna, jel?
Ona je na svoje nešto rodni list dobila $15 milijuna, nešto u tom smislu.
Da, tako nešto je bilo, da.
Idemo dalje, Dražine.
A Zvone, vidiš kako si ti dobro namirisa. Znači, pretpostavka suda o starateljstvu. Vidiš, sud vas može proglasiti nesposobnim da se brinete o sebi ili vas proglasiti ludim sa smanjenom odgovornošću i dodijeliti vam staratelja. Ukoliko se ova pretpostavka ne pobije tvrdnjama da ste vi staratelji i izvršitelji svoga bića, možete završiti u ludnicu, teoretski. Jel? Znači, jasno i glasno izjaviti da ste zdravi, da ste uzrojivi, da ste uračunljivi, da ne pijete nekakve tablete, ništa. Mislim, ovo možda zapravo izgleda smiješno, jer mi nemamo, ja osobno nemam takvih iskustava, ali ljudi su prošli sve i svašta. Evo sad žena ova, što kažeš, Zvone, završila je u Vrapču 24 dana, koliko je bila tamo.
To sudac je poslao njen muž, sudac, zbog ljubavnice. Pazi, molim.
A dobro, sad nećemo ulaziti u te stvari, ali očigledno je znači da postoji neka caka na osnovu kojega nekoga koji je savršeno zdrav i normalan možeš poslati u ludnicu i proglasiti neuračunljivim i samim, a ti u ludnici nikako ne možeš dokazati da si zdrav. Ti da rečeš ne znam šta, on će ti reći budale šta mislim, pretpostavljam da je to tako.
Oni te nakljokaju sa raznim sedativima i ti si u...
Da. Ali dobro, to je sad već znanstvena fantastika, ali hoću reći da je vrlo je bitno da ljudi i na to paze, jer to je jedna pretpostavka u sudu, jer ti u sud dolaziš kod autoritativne osobe, pretpostavkom, jel? Da si ti neki koji nešto traži od toga autoriteta, budući da on autoritet, on može od tebe raditi šta god hoće, jer ti tu ne dolaziš kao osoba u krvi i mesa, nego dolaziš kao korporativno tijelo i njemu to apsolutno ništa znači. Znači, on tebe stavi u pritvor ili u ludnicu, to je samo skladište A, skladište B. Nema nikakve razlike za njega osobno.
Tako je, jer nijedan sud ne može suditi čovjeku. Može samo fikciji, korporaciji.
Tako je, tako. Zato jesu, zapravo može se suditi ako se radi o privatnim tužbama između dvije žive osobe i onda one svojim dogovorom mogu pronaći nekoga povjerenika ili suca koji će donijeti presudu u njihovom sporu. Znači sud može postojati, ali jedino na takav način.
Po meni nema potrebe ako se dvije osobe dogovore, onda nema potrebe.
Ako se ne mogu dogovoriti. Sad se ja i ti posvađamo zvone i ti kažeš da sam ja kriv, ti kažeš da si ti i mi angažiramo Barnija, složimo se da je Barni skroz ok osoba da može donijeti presudu i ono što Barni kaže mi ćemo poštovati, potpišemo se na takav način i onda je to neka vrsta suda gdje oboje ulazimo i ja i ti sa dogovorno na takav način i prihvaćamo arbitražu Barnija jer smo ga mi imenovali da bude arbitar. U ovom slučaju mi nismo imenovali nikoga da arbitrira i da donosi ikakvu presudu naše ime.
Da, to je lijepo je taj dio opisao Santos Bonacci.
Da, Santos Bonacci. Da. Santos Bonacci puno toga lijepo opisao. Ok, ajmo dalje. Pretpostavka o povjereniku je da članovi privatne odvjetničke komore vas predstavljaju kao povjerenika u trustu jer ste građanin, to jest vladin uposlenik, to jest javni službenik. Jel? Samim time što ste došli u sud, jer je sud takav i on je samo za povjerenike unutar trusta. Kad izjavite da niste vladin zaposlenik, niti da ste povjerenik trusta, onda sud nema apsolutno nikakvu jurisdikciju na vama, ni u bilo kakvo vrijeme. Privatna komora ne može imati nikakvu jurisdikciju nad vama, budući da vi niste povjerenik unutar toga trusta.
To je jako bitno, Dražene, zbog toga što ako oni tvrde da jeste, onda treba zatražiti vaš ugovornu obavezu gdje ste vi potpisali da jeste zaposlenik.
Zaposlenik države, državni zaposlenik.
Tako je, znači vaš originalni potpis mora biti u nekom ugovoru. Inače oni nemaju na što vas pravno zadržavati.
U biti izjava da mi nismo osoba sa svim velikim štampanim slovima napisani, da mi nismo to, može biti jedna od tih načina na opovrgavanje ove pretpostavke o povjereniku ili druga, recimo da se pojavimo u sudu kao autorizirani zastupnik te fiktivne osobe, što znači automatski da nismo odgovorni za to jer mi se ne identificiramo sa tim strawmanom ili sa tim čovjekom od slame kojemu se zapravo sudi tu u sudnici. A recimo Dean Clifford je u svojim metodama čak i govorio da nije uopće stvar imena, nego je stvar jurisdikcije, to jest da ti čak i možeš reći ja sam taj i taj, ali pretpostavka da sam vladin službenik možda može i stav, ali vi morate dokazati da sam ja u trenutku počinjenja tog nekog delikta, da sam nastupao u funkciji vlade, onda moraju dokazati u kojoj funkciji vlade si nastupao i kad si bio plaćen za to što si radio za vladu. Budući da oni ne mogu ni na kakav način to dokazati, niti da radio za vladu, niti u kojoj funkciji radio za vladu, ni kad si bio plaćen za to što si radio, onda automatski ne možeš biti niti javni službenik.
Tako je, mislim, to je jasno i glasno. I broj 1, broj 2, ti si vlasnik tog imena. Znači ti si vlasnik tog imena, oni ne mogu dokazati da su oni vlasnici tog imena, jel?
Da, to je sad pitanje ovih trustova, to smo razmišljali da danas u ovoj emisiji pričamo malo i o trustovima, međutim to je predugačka, preširoka tema pa bi to moglo ostaviti za neki drugi put.
Tako je, to ćemo ostaviti za neki drugi put. A reci mi samo, Dražene, po tebi onda, što je najbitnije naglasiti kad dolazimo u dodir sa sudovima?
Po meni je najbitnije da ulazimo na sud koliko je god moguće zdravoga razuma, izoštrenih čula. I da je vrlo bitno da shvatimo da je sud jedna igra u kojoj se igraju neke uloge pod nekim određenim pravilima. I da nije bit izaći nedužan iz suda. Jer svako izjašnjavanje o krivici ili nedužnosti, nevinosti, znači da ste upali u igru u koju vas je sud uvukao. Najbitnije je razmontirati sve postavke sudskog procesa. Razmontirati sve pretpostavke sudskog procesa tako da taj sudski proces se više ne može održati ni na kakav način, ne drži vodu ono što se kaže.
Da. Odlično. Hvala ti, Dražene, na odličnim informacijama i svakako bih htio napomenuti našim slušateljicama i slušalcima da sami istraže ovo o čemu smo pričali u današnjoj emisiji. Nemojte vjerovati nama, istražite sami, jer vi ste ti koji se morate uvjeriti u istinu. Jel? To je ono što bih htio reći. Dražene, imaš li ti što dodati za kraj emisije?
Ništa, nadam se da ćemo i dalje sa ovim nekim informacijama preko Radio Liberuma pogodovati ljudima da što više informacija i znanja skupe o ovim nekim procedurama kako izaći iz robovlasničkog sustava. I nadam se da ćemo čak i u buduće uspjeti otvoriti neku liniju izravnu da bi možda mogli odgovarati direktno na pitanja ljudi te samim time im pojasniti više nešto o ovoj temi, a i naravno uputiti ih na našu stranicu opptwordpress.com gdje ima dosta lijepih materijala i sami nek istraživaju jer najbolje se uči na vlastitim iskustvima i na vlastitom znanju nego na učenje na tuđim greškama, ja mislim da to ne postoji.
Tako je.
Da. I Zvone, još jedan put svaka čast kako si dobro vodio emisiju.
Hvala, Dražene, tebi također. Do sljedeće emisije, s obzirom da je Valter još na godišnjem, bit ćemo skupo opet za 7 dana.
Super, čujemo.
Hvala ti, Dražene.
Bog.
Dragi ljudi moji, Radio Liberum je u financijskim problemima i apeliramo na sve slušateljice i slušatelje koji imaju financijske mogućnosti da pomognu radiju da ostane u eteru. Svaka financijska pomoć je dobrodošla. Molim vas, dobri ljudi, ako ste u mogućnosti, pomognite.